So let's start up our reading for the week of October 28th. Can you believe it? Halloween this week. Are you ready? Got a lot going on this week. Trick-or-treating. I got a bunch of kids coming over my house on one day this week to watch a movie. Because my friend, my kid wants to have all his buddies over, so that's fine, but it's after work. Anyways, all right. So as always, doing the spread by Daily Tarot Girl, and we start with our situation for the week. So this week, our situation is the Queen of Ghosts. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Got a little court card to start, and this is with the Halloween Tarot. Hey, we had this as the Helper card last week, so that's so funny. All right, I'm going to pull the what's going to get in the way, and then what's going to help, and kind of look at them all together. Because it's kind of weird when the situation card is a court card. And our what gets in the way is also a court card. Imagine if they were all court cards. No, but we have a major for the helper. Oh, and that's so funny because they kind of go together here. All right. So our situation this week is that we are being called to do a couple of things here. Because Queen of Ghosts to me is like creative energy. It's like nurturing your soul kind of energy. It's the emotions. It's relationships and how we interact with other people. So I feel like, especially with, this being like a little bit of a holiday in the US and all that, I don't know, they celebrate Halloween all over the world too, I think. Yeah, so we're being called to like just kind of tap into our intuition, connect with other people, and just kind of nourish our souls this week. Like just, take care of ourselves in that way. What's going to get in the way, though, is this Knight of Pumpkins energy. And Knight of Pumpkins can be pretty good in certain situations, but not this week. Like, this is someone who takes like a slow and steady approach, very methodical, step by step, and is thinking about the here and now, the tangible world. Wow, okay. So this is one of those weeks where our reading is not practical. Remember how sometimes, like if you've been with me for a while, sometimes the readings are practical, and then sometimes like they're deeply spiritual. It's really more about like our just spiritual growth or like our spiritual connection versus like, hey, like this is what you need to do to have a good week. Although it's still like all applies, but it's not like, yeah, this isn't about our day-to-day like mundane lives here as I'm looking at all this. So remember, this is the week of Halloween where the veil is the thinnest. So this is all about like communicating with what's beyond. And this is amazing because you saw me shuffle. Like I did not pre-plan this at all. So, because look, you have her talking to this little ghost, right? That already is like, okay, you're talking to like a spirit or someone who has passed or something like that. So the situation this week is being open to communicating and being in a spiritual space, like just being open to messages from communicating with spirit, whatever that means to you. Maybe that's loved ones past, maybe that's the universe as a whole, whatever. So what's going to get in the way of that is if you are just being too earthy this week. You are just all about your to-do list, your checklist. You're really too grounded in the here and now on this physical plane, and you're taking the methodical step-by-step approach to life. That works out well in most situations, but not this week, because what's going to help us is the High Priestess. And the High Priestess energy is that whole like intuition and like knowing things that you can't possibly know just from like the intellect. So, and I'm just trying to see if I'm getting anything more from this particular card, because it's a vampire figure. She's on the moon and there's like this little bat dangling from her hands, and bats often make me think of like transformation too. Plus there's like this little gateway between the two towers behind her. It's kind of hard to see. You really gotta like look at it. So I think what's just gonna help us this week is to not be so grounded, not be so, either intellectual about things or all about, our tangible reality, but to do some things that are going to have us feel more connected to the spirit of Halloween, to feel more like connected to spirit. And to do that, we have to kind of go within, maybe do some meditation, maybe just do something that just feels like a little out of the ordinary, ways for tapping in to those kind of messages. So those would be things like doing a tarot reading for yourself, using a spirit board, a pendulum. I'm trying to think of all the different ones. Even just looking at your astrology chart, if you're into that. There's like so many things. I personally don't use Ouija boards. I have a friend who's like really against them. I'm pretty much open to everything, but yeah, I haven't used the Ouija board, but I'd be curious to know if you do and if you plan on that, but that would be something that you could do as well. So anything that's going to connect you to either, your higher self, spirit, past loved ones, anything like that is going to be good. So you really want to tap into that high priestess energy this week. Ooh, this feels like so good. I'm like really excited about this week now because I was just kind of all up in my headspace of all the things I have to do on my own to-do list. I'm like, you know what? No, this is a magical kind of week. So let's just tap into that magic energy and have a good time. Ooh, I'm excited. All right. I hope you are too. And let's get back into it.